Well, it's Boonies Girls 80 signing in. How is everybody? I'm blessed. Look what I found. I found a nice little mesa valley near my Bronze Age city. There are some cool caves over here. I haven't exactly explored them yet, but I may incorporate them into this build that I'm going to do, because the build that I want to do, because I'm taking a break from a survival mode project, though I will be in survival mode for a little bit on this because I want all that red sand. But I will be using creative mode to build a really cool hot spring valley out of this depression here. I kind of rediscovered the lull, Ethiopia. I knew about it for a long time, but I kind of forgot about it. Absolutely amazing hot spring depression in Ethiopia. And I do much better. I feel more comfortable doing natural stuff in creative mode. And I think this little valley is going to be perfect for it. I can kind of start up here with maybe like a small volcano, which would, be the reason why there's a mantle plume here. It's not that far from my Bronze Age city, but hopefully far enough that realistically the gases and stuff here wouldn't hurt the people. And I may even use command blocks for the some of the hot springs to give people a burning effect if they ever walk into them. I used to know how to do it. I'm going to have to relearn all that because I haven't used it in a very, very long time. It's a really pretty area. I wonder how much I can actually do here. But yeah, I'm going to jump into survival mode, pick all that up because I am not leaving behind red sand. I am not destroying that in creative mode. I can't do that. I will shovel that and by hand and take it home. But yeah, hopefully you'll actually get to see me doing some building action. And yeah, this is one of my favorite things to do. It's actually more than building cities, it's building natural forms in creative mode. I love it. All right, God bless. See you in a few. And here we go. As you can see that I have gotten all of the red sand in this vicinity all cleaned up in survival mode because I wanted the sand, except for this over here. I haven't really figured out what I wanted to do with this over here, if I wanted to extend that eventually or not. Kind of a neat cave. I don't know how I'm gonna make all that connect, but that's for another day. In my inventory, you can see 3 shulker boxes. That's where all the sand went. And now what I have is a nice, clean, or mostly clean area to start actually putting down the geological features. And I've learned a couple more things that are going to make it look cool, like how to do the smoke underneath the water and stuff like that. I think it's going to look pretty cool. So I'm going to go ahead and do one of the springs, and then I'm going to get back with you. And here's my color palette. Campfires, buckets of water, a couple different types of terracotta, lots of sandstone, sandstone walls, sandstone stairs, basalt, calcite, all this grand stuff. And yes, I'm going to be doing this in creative mode because I have a hard time staying motivated when I'm trying to do geological features like this in survival. So I like to do these in creative. My cat's over here. Hi, Kato. I'm at the table, therefore I must have food. He doesn't understand I'm playing Minecraft. Poor kitty. But yeah, this is a nice area to start with. To start making some really cool things. And I got myself a lime green bed so I could actually spot it in the distance. But yeah. We'll work on getting this all nice and transformed. What's going on so far? Got one hot pool, one short hot pool, one taller hot pool. I had to learn how to do the smoke underneath the water thing, which I found is really, really cool. So I've got 2 hot pools in. Just started laying out the calcite. It was very sulfury. Dalal was very, very a sulfury looking place. There's lots of yellow. So I'm trying to make sure I use lots of yellow, but there's also lots of calcite too. I'm going to have to probably check some more pictures, but yeah, really, really cool. And I got the start of another, like a spring thing that comes from underground. I might still work with that. Another cool little feature that I'm throwing in are fumaroles. I remember fumaroles from Yellowstone National Park. I actually did go to Yellowstone. It was wonderful. But yeah, I started on a few fumaroles. I do want to put a crater, I think somewhere up in there, and make it look a bit more volcanic. And, oh, hello there. I didn't see you. I'll have to check that out later. I'm going to have to go back into survival mode at some point in time to get more yellow stand out of my way, because I didn't realize it was going to be in my way. But I checked this cave out here. There's not much of it. And you see that water level there? Yeah, I'm kind of planning to flood this whole thing. I'm going to flood it. It's going to be a bit before I get to that point, but I'm going to flood this whole thing and make it a lake. Though I might jump into survival and take that gold too while I'm at the redstone. But I'll flood all that and kind of make it look super cool, or at least as cool as I can, because, yeah, I'm not... I'm not the best of builders. I really am not the best of builders, but geological features is one of my favorite things. I want to practice a lot in creative, because it helps me to relax and my creativity starts to really rise. I've got another pool there I'm going to do. Or maybe not. Maybe I'll leave that one dry and just smoke it like a fumarole. I don't know. But yeah, this whole thing here is going to be covered in that cool stuff. And then this over here will be flooded. And I may extend the hot springs up over into here. But I don't know if I'm going to go like beyond this ridge here. Though that's a cool little lake. Did I see this lake? Maybe I'll do this one too. Not sure, it does kind of end around here. Well, we'll see what I can get done. Definitely going to mark the coordinates. Ooh, what's over here? Oh, I am right close to a savanna. I didn't check the place out over here too well, huh? What's this? Huh. I might have to check the chord and see if, because I've done a lot of exploring on this map. I wonder if I have that one on my chords already and just don't realize it. But yeah, I want to turn this into a really cool place that looks like Dalal, Ethiopia. Because Dalal, Ethiopia is awesome. But yeah, I'll run that creek all the way through here. I'll have a few water features, but I don't want to go too many water features because this is a desert, even though it is right next to the savanna. But yeah, I'm trying to use a lot of sandstone for the sulfur element, and also included on my color palette, other than, of course, you see the items on there, but like brown terracotta, orange terracotta, smooth red sandstone stairs, smooth sandstone stairs, calcite, smooth sandstone, smooth red sandstone, and then I've got yellow concrete powder, yellow terracotta, orange concrete powder, red sand, hay bale, magma blocks, and okay, yeah, that's where all the sandstone went because I haven't gotten rid of it. Lava bucket, magma block, diorite wall, sandstone wall, white concrete powder, sandstone wall, soul sand, base salt, dead bushes, just not exactly random stuff. I was trying to think really well what all should go into my inventory. Making a few. These look like dried up pools because, well, it is a desert, so I do want to have a few dried up pools, and I want to have some really sulfury looking areas. Maybe like over here or something, I can create a more sulfury area. There's a lot of yellows that was in Dalal. And I want to make sure that, you know, I'm trying to get better about gradients. I've been watching like a lot. I watch quite a few YouTubers, including a lot of Hermitcraft. And I'm trying to learn gradients without going too crazy. Like, if I see brick and granite mixed into a wall, it drives my brain nuts because to me they are two separate things. They don't even look alike. But to those folks, it's not about so much the material as it is the color. My brain can't handle that. But what my brain can handle is something that looks a bit more like sand. I can trick my brain into this being more like a sand color. I have to play mind games with myself. It's really sad, actually. I want to get better at building and start using gradients without making my brain too angry at me. Because I tend to be a very simple person. I like uniform colors. You know, if I'm going to make a brick house, it's going to be just brick. You know, I'm not going to mix granite into it. I can't do that. That's too much of a difference. But I am trying to include the orange terracotta for the thermophile bacteria. And like the brown terracotta for dried up spots. I'm doing the best that I can with what I have. Oh, about nighttime. Hard for you to see things at night. Drop over here. I used a lime green bed so I can actually see it. But I'll destroy it before I go back into survival mode. That's just a creative mode thing that I need for right now. But yeah. Learning how to do this, and there's a lot of really spiky areas in Dalal too, so it's not going to look exactly like Dalal, but I'm trying to make it look pretty close. Pretty close. So yeah, let me know what you think. And I am going to continue making this really cool. And there we go. Dalal, Ethiopia, sort of, inspired by. This is as close as I'm able to get. My building expertise is not quite where I'd like it to be, but this is, I think, a really good start. And you got, like... Sorry, one of our new cats was just meowing a little bit. Waking up. The smoky water thing, the bubbles. I probably could have actually put more bubbles in that. And it does stretch this whole valley. I've got this cool little creek that kind of flows through where it starts off a bit hot and then gets a little... I probably could actually... 'cause that's an awfully abrupt ending. Trying to get the colors right. I think I have another one. Yeah, I can use that. Kind of fade it out. There we go. As the water gets cooler, there's not going to be as much thermophile bacteria. And there's like old pools. We'll still have a lot of like the sulfur and the minerals and stuff like that. And I was looking at the pictures of Dalal, Ethiopia, and like sometimes the colors would change very rapidly, like very stark contrast without much of an ability to phase in and out. Like it's not all that smooth, it's very stark. I thought these were really cool. I got a couple of them. This is more like a very fresh, new, where it's spouting out water and starting to build itself up. I've got a couple of them over here. This one's like a little bit of an older one. The water has dried out of these and now they're just fumaroles. A little spiky thing. Some more little spiky things that are dried up. More fumaroles. Love the fumaroles. And these were something I kind of half remembered from Dalal. smoky, sulfury things. I also absolutely flooded this cave. Absolutely flooded it. Gotten better at flooding caves. Especially in creative mode. I like to learn how to build things in creative mode, and then eventually I'd like to be able to do this sort of thing in survival mode. Someday when there's enough calcite to feed my fiendish tendencies. And there's like some much older little spiky things where water would have come up out of, like some sort of little micro geyser type thing. Lots of little spiky things through here. But also up here, more fumaroles. You can see where I've put the calcite around it to be a lot more correct. But yeah, there's more fumaroles there. Now, I didn't do a whole lot through here because I wanted to kind of keep this normal. There's another old dried up pool there. Because not every space looks like that. I mean, if you look at, let's say, Yellowstone, there was lots of regular ground in between all this stuff. And you just have like a patch like this, and then it'd be regular ground, and then you go have another patch. So I've kind of like just put a random little patch over here. And over here I had a little bit of fun testing out, trying to build cinder cones. Like here's an active one with a basic lava fountain thing. And you can see where it's probably collapsed or something like that. But, you know, it's built up there and it's built up there and it flows out throughout the sides. And here I kind of experimented with an old cinder cone. Like it used to come out here, but it doesn't come out here anymore. Though I think I have to figure out kind of what to do for maybe like an old lava flow or something. Other than that, I'm pretty happy with it. So I've got my little mini Dalal. And the thing with the materials is, like, the more sulfur that you have, the yellower it gets. That's why I used a lot of yellow. And thankfully, the way concrete powder looks, it looks just like colored sand. So that makes it a lot easier to trick my brain. I have to play mind games with myself. If I can at least get the color and texture right, I can do it. I can trick my brain into thinking, okay, that can go together. I'm still failing miserably trying to trick my brain to do regular terracotta, granite, and bricks for the color palette and scramble them all together and, okay, that's one wall. My brain will not do that. But I am tricking myself for this. Or at least I'm finding ways to trick my brain for this. But yeah, you see the really bright yellow areas is where most of the, like, really sulfuric spots would be. Sorry, I can't speak English, and it's the only language I know. And, you know, sometimes there'll be large patches with not a whole lot of anything, maybe a little color blending here and there. Sometimes it'll be a lot more stark. I mean, it's just a random variation of things and trying to make it look about as natural as possible. One way I did that was I went with the natural terrain as much as possible. I mean, yeah, I do have to build some things like this. And yeah, some things will need to be manually done. But for like the size and the shapes and stuff like that, I literally just went with the natural terrain. And I really didn't change a whole lot of anything. To be honest, I really like Minecraft's natural terrain generation for the most part. Sometimes I think there's too many cave entrances and it makes it hard. But, I almost thought about coming up this way, but I may not. But yeah, I like the natural terrain generation, and I try to make it look, and blend it in as naturally as possible. And yeah, it's like all the minerals and stuff like that, and different whatnots have gathered into this valley. You know, making these structures is actually a little bit more brain-racking because you got to kind of go with, you know, a natural-looking shape because it's not going to be so much circles and it's not going to be so much squares. And you got to randomize it a little bit. Like I probably did too much of a diagonal here. I probably could have rounded out like that. That's pretty good. That's rounded and then it goes into off into some weird shape. This is kind of nice because it's not a complete circle. And to be honest, I can't do complete circles like spheres in Minecraft anyway. I've watched some really amazing builders. Those people have skills that are beyond my level of probably ever being able to do, at least not within the next 10 years. And again, more of an oval shape, little bit of dips and dops, but not a perfect anything. And, you don't usually find perfect shapes in nature. And some of these holes, yeah, I just simply started, how would I call that? Just simply started lining it. And that's how I tend to get these really cool shapes. Sometimes I'll just pick a hole and just go, okay, here you go. Line it up and there you go. Because I do have a tendency to be a bit lazy and not want to, put in that much effort and still have a nice build. I mean, I'm going to admit it. But I am really happy with this. I'm happy with the way it turned out. Geological features, geothermal features is something that I really like. I would so build mud pots in here if there was a way to make bubbling mud. Unfortunately, as far as I know, the mud in Minecraft may not be bubbling. That would be cool if it did. When it comes out in 1.19 and you could, say, stick soul sand underneath of it and have it bubble up. And then you could make mud pots. And those would be a really, really easy feature to make if that thing was able to do that. I highly doubt it because I think it would take a bit of time. And they may not be... I don't know if Mojang is all that interested in geothermal features. At least maybe not as much as I am. But I can mask it or do it somewhat. Like, fumaroles are actually not that hard. Especially if you put a hay bale underneath of the campfire. And that's all I'm really doing. Let's see if I can... grab it. That's the only one I should have to break. Yep, there it is. Jump down here. But yeah, that's all it is. Hay bale, campfire, and then you put your it can go through one whole block. And I think it might also, if you put a pressure plate or something on it, it might just puff a little bit. But we're not looking for little puffs. We want big puffs. Big, giant puffs. We want smoke to be rising. The magma's really close to the surface here. It's spouting up over there. We want some nice geothermal features here. Oh, let's see if I can... Oh, I gotta find that bed and break that. Well, I could sleep really quick. There it is. That's why I used a lime green bed. Oops, I shouldn't have done that. I was meant to be sleeping. I used a lime green bed so I could find it easier in the desert. Not so good to use in the jungle, but in the desert, yeah, it shows up a lot better than most of the other colors. But yeah, I am really happy with how this turned out, especially since my building level is not... I consider myself to be a fair builder. I mean... Okay, I do watch a lot of Hermitcraft, and I watch a lot of the different hermits. I am not even close to their level. Not even close. I'm terrible at building houses. But this is the stuff that I like to do. Believe it or not, I love geothermal features. And I'm pretty happy with how this turned out. And this is another really nice one that I was trying to kind of copy off, doing like a tiered water feature that's bubbling up from the top, very smoky. Yeah, I've got 3 bubbles on that, and then it just slowly flows down, tier after tier after tier. You see these at Yellowstone. What's the name of that really big one that is a tiered one? Just absolutely massive. Water cascades off down the one side. Really, really cool. Wish I could remember the name. I saw it. It was beautiful. I have to thank my husband Big for taking me to Yellowstone. It was his idea. he knew I would love it, and he was right. I must have the most fantastic husband in the world. But yeah. So this was a bit more of an experiment, because I'm not used to doing very large water features. Oh, and I can see where I've actually messed up a little bit. Okay, you are now about to watch me fix a water feature that I didn't realize I didn't have finished. Okay, then that can flow down that way. Okay. Am I missing anything else? No, it looks pretty good so far. Unfortunately, this would not be potable water, so having a civilization over here is not a good idea. Unlike the springs that are over in my city, Yoniv, over that way, this water, it'll probably kill you if you try to drink it. Just being honest, I actually thought about grabbing some command blocks and sifting back through my notes and having the command blocks give you like either a burning, burning effect would be perfect, because these springs would be hot enough to give you a burning effect. I've actually thought about tunneling under, putting command blocks in, and if you jumped in, it would give you like a burning effect. Another cool thing for like volcanic features is if you have like if you decide to build, say, like a semi-active volcano, use the command blocks and give it the poison effect for the poisonous gases. You can use multiple command blocks for these things. Like maybe over here I could like tunnel in, get underneath the lava, and put like, I don't know, maybe like 100 block radius poison effect, you know? And that would tell you not to go any further that way. A little bit more game immersion. Something I'll have to re-research out to, because it has been a long, long time, probably at least a couple of years since I've messed with command blocks, and I wasn't any good at them. I would just look up other people's videos and then type down the formula that they use to get whatever, because I'm no good at it. I am not the most technical person on this world, definitely not even close. But yeah, this turned out very well. Very, very well. And I even tried to, you can see it over here better, where it's not a straight line of calcite and minerals and stuff. I tried to kind of have it a little bit more jagged over here. Over here, I did kind of the same thing, but it was a bit more the longer lines, less jagged. Which is fine. It doesn't have to be the same on both sides. Nature can do it both ways. Of course, it goes up and spills out over here a bit more because of the water feature being so high up. And then both of these cascade. I want to use that lovely poetic term, cascading down into the lake below. Which I did forget to get the gold out of here. Then it's like, you know what, this is a mesa, there's gold everywhere. I don't have to worry about that gold when I switch back over to survival. But I am very, very happy with this. Very, very happy. There's also a spot where there's a really nice place to put a volcano. It's like a big hill with a circle in between, and I'm like just about salivating over that thing. That's one of the really nice things about the new terrain generation, is you come across that stuff a bit more with the new mountain generation. It's going to be a lot easier to do volcanoes now. And it's like, that thing has a caldera. It's huge. It's gorgeous. And I'm probably going to do it soon. I haven't been playing this particular world as much as I normally do. I've actually been trying to train myself to play survival. It's in easy mode because I'm still too chicken to put it on normal or hard. But someday I'd actually like to be able to play on an SMP. And to play on an SMP, you know, I've got to be doing regular survival. And so far, I think I've only died once in that world. Again, it is on easy mode because I've got to build myself up to it. I'm not... Yeah, I've basically got to desensitize my sensory issue to having a horde of zombies come at me and still be able to think. Then again, I do try to play it very, very safe. I've been finding a lot of slime in that world too. But yeah, I mean, the scenery is beautiful around here. Got some gorgeous mountains, some really weird terrain over here. And then immediately over here, what was there? Come back. Oh, there it is. I was looking for that. Hey, savanna. This is actually, well, the savanna is another one of my absolute favorite biomes. I like the mesa because of all the terracotta, because I love building with terracotta. I think it's ugly. It's a very ugly biome. However, the terracotta is more valuable to me than the pros of having all the terracotta is far outweighs the cons of its look. I love the terracotta because I like to build, some of the more Mediterranean Bronze Age builds, and I love using the terracotta for them. And this whole world is like literally dedicated to the Bronze Age, at least for now. And I chose to have a mesa biome nearby. But I really like the savanna biome. I think it's really pretty. A little dry looking, but pretty nonetheless. And having this right next to here, I think there was a village over here somewhere too. I love acacia wood. Yep, there it is. I need to check my notes to see if I found this one yet already. I might have. But yeah, it's looking really nice. Looking really, really nice. I'm pretty pleased with it. My building skills have gotten a little bit better and a little bit better and a little bit better every year. And I do need to record more often. I don't have space on my phone to do, like, record hours and hours and hours of gameplay time. And often I don't have hours and hours and hours of gameplay time, so I often record days apart, and I just record one chunk at a time. I try to plan ahead a little bit, record my chunk, and then do what I need to do. This is only a Samsung Galaxy. It only has so much room. And like after I post the video to YouTube, I delete it all because I have to save the room. I know that sounds kind of sad, but yeah, I just do not have really any space. All in all, though, I'm really happy with how this turned out. And I'm really happy that I finally learned how to do the smoke under the water thing. Because that adds such a cool effect. The first time I saw that, I think the first time I really saw smoky water was Afterlife SMP, which just came out. A bunch of really cool people doing that. And I'm like, how did they do that? So, of course, lots of searching around later. That's how you do it. But yeah, the key to... Come on, drop me down. I think my screen's getting dirty. The key to having really cool natural builds like this, yeah, follow the natural terrain. Don't do perfect shapes. And randomize it a little bit, because nature doesn't do everything the same way every single time. And then, yeah, sit back and enjoy the fumerals. All right. One more nap here. Come on. Yeah, I think my screen's just getting dirty. Well, God bless everybody. Oops. And this is Boonies Girl Lady signing out.